L. Raven reporting from the Atlanta Falcon headquarters here in Flowery Ranch, Georgia. Amongst other things, there's a Falconers convention going on. Oh, and as well as the post-draft conference from Atlanta GM Reggie, aka Sweet Percy. We now take you live to the conference already in session. Okay, you picked Nelson Aguilar at 1.07 when Tevin Coleman and Jay Ajayi were still available. You're a little weak at running back. What was your thought process on this?
Well, my thought process was I had a choice options of Tevin Coleman, Devontae Parker, or either, I forgot the other guy, but I decided to go Nelson Aguilar because I figured, well, I already had Kenny Stills on my receiver, so I didn't want Parker. I wasn't comfortable getting Parker, so I decided to go Nelson because I figured he's real versatile, and so I figured Chip Kelly would use him quite a bit. So I was a little undecided, but I went with my gut with Nelson Aguilar.
At 2.07 and 3.07, you do address the running back needs. You pick up David Cobb and Josh Robinson, two running backs with huge upside. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts and how the organization came to these decisions.
Well, we did some scouting on David Cobb and Josh Robinson situations, and we figured with David Cobb, all they had was Bishop Sankey and I guess Sean Green, and we figured he could at least move into a split the carries with Bishop Sankey, depending on his whether he improved or not with his football. But we figured that he probably can move into a primary role, so we went ahead and snatched him. And then with Josh Robinson, it may take him a little bit more time. I'm not sure because they have a lot of other running backs, but at some point Frank Gore has to break down, you would think. So I'm figuring that he would be the most viable to move into that spot if Frank Gore breaks down. So we went ahead and got him to bolster our running back position.
At 3.05, you picked Randy Gregory at defensive end. Was this a team need, or was this a best player available?
This was mainly a team need because we're low on defensive ends, and so it was a risk. But we figured we'd go ahead and draft him, and hopefully he produces for us.
Justin Hardy was picked in the 4th round by the Atlanta Falcons organization. Justin Hardy could appear to go ahead and step immediately into that 3rd wide receiver role. Tell us a little bit about the decision to pick him and what he brings to your team.
Well, with Justin Hardy, we figured he could definitely slide into a starting role, especially with the age on I forgot his the receiver name, Roddy White.
Roddy White.
And so, Roddy White. And so we figured that, especially over the past couple of years, Roddy White has been injured. So we figured he had a good position in moving into the starting lineup, or at least playing a big role in offense. And so through our scouting department, we figured that he could be one of our main components throughout the year, helping us in this XFL league, and hopefully he will come through for us.
Okay, there was a curious choice, considering the team needs of Brett Hundley at 4.11, and not because Brett Hundley may not have the potential, but he is sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. Why did you make that pick at that juncture of the draft?
That was more of a let's take a chance. I mean, he may not even play for the next 3 years. I mean, even if he gets traded. So that was more of a shot in the dark. I mean, my plan was to get one of the either Jameis or Marcus Mariota, but Matt from the Cardinals threw a monkey wrench in that when he went back to back earlier in the draft. So because I was figuring one of those quarterbacks would fall down maybe into the third round, but it didn't work out that way. So I just took a shot in the dark with Brett Hundley and see if it works out. Because, I mean, he has a lot of upside, but, I mean, hopefully he can do this, have to follow the same career path as Aaron Rodgers did when he sat behind Brett Favre for all those years.
Your final 4 picks: Ramik Wilson, Kansas City linebacker; Daniel Hunter, Minnesota defensive end; Antoine Goodley, Dallas wide receiver; and Nate Orchard, Cleveland linebacker. Of those 4 late picks, which is the one that you feel has the most potential to contribute within the next 2 years?
The next 2 years, I would say Ramik Wilson because Derek Johnson got hurt last year with the Achilles, and then Thomas Holly is getting a little long in the tooth, and then so I figure he can step in somewhere on that defense within the next 2 years, hopefully.
We're going to go ahead and step away from this press conference and send you to Chicago, where the Raven, the non-Mexican version, is standing outside Chicago Bears franchise headquarters in Lake Forest, Illinois. Thank you, El Raven. Remind me we got to get ourselves some tacos the next time I see you. We'll now take you live to the in-progress post-draft news conference with Chicago Bears GM Adam. So tell us about your first-round selection at 1.12 JHI. What does he mean for the Chicago Bears organization?
Yeah, I was just trying to go best available. He was the best available running back. Obviously, that's a hot commodity. There's not too many in free agency, so I don't know what he's going to produce this year. I'm hoping next year, 2 years, he should be a starter.
Did his knee issues, were those a concern to you?
No, I'm not worried about. And I mean, you can't worry about injuries. You don't know what's going to happen. So, no, I'm just like Gurley. I would have taken Gurley if he would have been there. Knee injuries don't bother me.
Okay.
I just want production. I want a starter. Is what I'm. The guy. I can't stand the shared production. So. That might happen this year, might happen next year, but eventually I think he'll be a 3-down back.
Considering shared production, you took a wide receiver in Jalen Strong at 1.13 that figures to be the number 2 receiver in Houston. Can you tell us the franchise's thought process behind that selection?
Yeah, again, I think he was the best available wide receiver. So I was going with that. I had a clean slate to work with, so that was my whole thought process during the whole draft. But yeah, I think he's got the skill sets to be a top 10 wide receiver in the league, and the biggest problem I struggled with drafting him was Houston's lack of quarterback. I don't know what they're going to do in the next 2 or 3 years, but I'm hoping they figure something out.
Okay. At 3.06, you selected linebacker Phil Dawson. He's for the Cincinnati Bengals. What was the franchise's motivation behind that pick?
I was extremely happy to get Dawson there. I'd been wanting to get a linebacker, just trying to move up into the middle of the second round. I wasn't able to, and I was wanting to. I forget who I was going after. I think I was going to go after Benedict, or I can't remember. But yeah, Dawson fell to me, and I grabbed him in the third round there. And I think by the end of the year, he's actually going to be a starter this year. So that's what game plan is anyway.
Okay. At 3.12, you went with a cornerback, Eric Rowe, and many would consider that very early to take a cornerback. Was this a real team need, and is that why you went so early?
No, that was actually an accident. I had him in my queue. I was actually working, and I didn't realize it was going to be my pick. I had him in my queue, and somehow he got moved up to the top, and that was a complete accident. But, it is what it is. He's going to be a starter. So yeah, I didn't mean for that to happen, but I got a starter out of it anyway.
At 3.16, you took Mario Edwards. There are some question marks surrounding him as a defensive end. The team, the Chicago organization, wasn't afraid of this?
No, I don't. I think he's gonna keep his weight down. No, that's a big question mark, is his weight. I think he'll keep his weight down. I think Oakland's actually gonna have a strong defense, and he's gonna be leading it. He has the potential to be out of this draft class, I think he has the potential to be a top 3 defensive end. Keep his weight down and, keep his mindset right. And he's got the skill sets for sure.
Okay. In one word, I'd like you to go ahead and describe the following draft picks for the Chicago Bears organization. Max Williams.
Another steal.
Eric Armstead.
Starter.
Deron Carter.
Pedigree.
Eli Harold.
I don't know. I got nothing on that one.
Eddie Goldman.
Again, just trying to sling some picks out there and maybe grab somebody who's going to eventually be a starter.
Okay. It's apparent to this reporter that these final picks were kind of stabs in the dark.
Yeah.
This draft class, 12 picks, the organization has been completely let go and will be rebuilt in your image over the next several years. If you had to give yourself a draft grade, and in 30 seconds, could you just wrap up your thoughts on this draft?
I'd probably go with a B plus. I really wished I had a second round pick, and I was doing my damnedest to try to get there, but I couldn't make it happen. Going forward, I'm still going to be building this team through the draft. Next year, 2017. That's when the free agency will really be in full swing then. There's not much to choose from right now, but over the next couple of years we'll be rebuilding it, and hopefully we can be at the top in the next 2 or 3 years.
That concludes our special draft coverage here on Ribbon and Taryn. Be sure to listen and stay tuned for more breaking reports, like the Jets coming out of a coma.